And welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3. It's time for another rousing Tartarus expedition. Winding back the clock, of course, if you remember from the videos thus far, we entered Tartarus on 8/17 in Persona 3 FES, so that is where we are in the current time. I've done some minor adjustments to my party here. One thing that I want to note for the protagonist is that he's running Narcissus, that is bearing an item right now. We want to get Narcissus to level 24 to produce that item before we get to the second boss of this cycle of Tartarus exploration. I'm also bringing along Koromaru here because he's a very good boy, but also he's very good for this section of the game. He comes in at level 34 with Agilao already unlocked, and he's primed to learn Maragian in 4 levels, so he can put in some good work when you put the Agni bracers on him, even with just his modest magic stat there. And of course he has his trademark 125 evasion. Paired with his high agility, he is quite survivable. You'd probably also notice that Koromaru has absolute gobs of hit points. He has the highest HP of any character in the game, so it takes quite a bit of effort for the bosses to take him out. I'm bringing along Akihiko, as he was in the previous Full Moon boss fight, just because he's a good character long term, and I want to keep him consistently getting levels. Other characters, I can afford to just grind them up later. I would like Akihiko to stay in the party consistently, though. I'm also going to be bringing along Mitsuru for a little bit, just because she's handy for the upcoming boss. That's about all I want to go over before I get into the Tartarus Expedition for Persona 3 FES. Before we begin our expedition, of course, we want to go over some things in Persona 3 Reload and Portable, so we'll start with Reload first. One thing to note is that I am 1 level higher than I was previously going into Tartarus, and we'll go over why that is in the very near future, but that does allow me to do something important. Our team here is nothing too special. We went over it last time. Gonna be bringing along Ken and Koromaru to get them some floor time, and Junpei is just very good right now in general, so we'll be bringing him along. Though I will be rotating out my party members as we go. But let's go into, actually, first, let's talk to Elizabeth. I can sense the power growing with you. Blah, blah, blah. You say the same thing every time. I still cannot for blah. How may I assist you? Let's ask about missing persons. I sense someone. There seems to be a human presence within Tartarus between floors 100 and 104. It would be best for you to search the tower and locate them as soon as possible. Oh, yes. It seems a little guest was feline curious and meandered their way into floor 88. Do keep that in mind as you explore. So, that's interesting. I wonder why Elizabeth was making all those cat puns. Regardless, in Reload, we have something to check out on floor 88. Now let's actually enter the Velvet Room and do something important right now. Now that we're level 37, we can fuse Black Frost. Now, Black Frost is a very good persona in general, but he also has something pretty important that we get from fusing him, so we want to give him some pretty good skills here. I'm also just going to summon the personae we need directly from Compendium. King Frost is the other one we need. Let's see, I don't care about Ma Buffalo, but there are a few skills that I want to put on here. I want to put on Ma Rakunda. Ma Rakukaja is good to have. And, let's see, single target boost, and I forget, does, no, he doesn't have ice boost. That's something I gotta keep a lookout for, when we're going through Tartarus, and, yeah, you know what, actually, I changed my mind. I will take Ma Buffalo. Now, you'll notice right there, Black Frost quickly learns Agidine. Very, very powerful skill for this stage of the game, and he has the magic stat to make that work. But that's not the only skill that he picks up that's notable. He also comes with Ma Tarukaja, very helpful thing to have as well, and Ma Rakunda is also pretty good. Dark boost to boost his dark damaging Maega there, and ooh. You know what, we're getting rid of Ma Buffalo. Never mind, we're not keeping that. But also, he gets Bufudine, so that'll work wonderfully with single target boost, and if I can get a Ice Boost card to card that skill onto him, that would be so much the better. Let's see, a skill's on the verge of changing. Ma Tarukaja, no, we will prevent that. But the real reason we want to fuse Black Frost...
Are you finished?
Oh, you appear to be harboring a new potential. The personas you've acquired are resonating with one another, elevating you to greater heights. We unlock a new theurgy with Black Frost, and it is an incredible one. Kiganai, heavy ice damage to all foes that ignores resistances, with a decent chance to freeze. This'll be the protagonist's main attack with theurgy going forward, and it'll be a while before we get something that trumps it. If we can get a very powerful ice persona, something with ice boost, ice amp, and multi-target boost, this skill is absolutely incredible, and Black Frost is part of the way to fitting that description, so pretty good pickup right now. Now, before we get over to Portable, I do, of course, want to take care of that little bit of business that Elizabeth informed us of. If we head to floor 88, we'll find that a kitty has wandered into Tartarus. I'm getting a faint reading of a living thing. It could be a person, so please try looking for them. No, it is not a person, Fuka. It's a faint signal, but you just have to find them. Anyways, I've already explored this floor, so I know that it is in the back left corner. We've also grown well past the enemies on this floor at this point, so they will just run away from us in abject terror. Hey.
I'll catch up to all of you in no time.
Alright, yeah, I'm sure you will, Ken. Oh, whoops, sorry. I interrupted him there. It's so easy to do that with these conversations. Hold on, kitty. Before I get to you, I've got these treasure chests to open. There's a wall there. Darn it. We're going to miss out on that one treasure chest then. It's okay. It's not an important one.
Find something good in there. Let's open it up.
I think so too, Ken. Let's open up this treasure chest, get an antibiotic gel, 200 HP to a single target. Very nice. Very nice. But yes, we can now get the kitty here.
A cat? It ain't a shadow shaped like a cat.
I cut off Junpei. There's a cat that looks like it's scowling.
What?
Huh? There's a kitty in a place like this. Anyway, we need to protect it. Please come back to the entrance immediately, and we will take the cat back to the entrance personally. The cat offered me something. It was holding in its mouth. Maybe it's a thank you gift? It's a bit damp, but I think I could still use it. And when we rescue a kitty, we get some Twilight fragments from it.
Welcome back.
I'm so relieved you were able to save that kitty. It can stay here for now. We'll send it off safely when the time comes. You got anything to say about that, Elizabeth? Oh, is there something I can assist you with? No, she doesn't care about the kitty more at this point anymore, but we can turn in the King and I request. I see that you have successfully performed the King and I fusion spell. Well done. That now completes this request. The King of all Jack Frost, together with the Jack Frost who has obtained sinister powers. The mischief wrought by these two will surely be great aid to you. Please take this as your reward. And we get 3 guard incenses. Very nice. I'll probably give those to Yukari, unless I decide Ken is more deserving of them. Anyways, let's pop over to Portable right now and just make some quick establishments there before we get into the exploration proper. Over in Persona 3 Portable, we are, of course, going to be sticking to the ladies team, so let's get everybody added in. Also, just this weird thing, I forget if I mentioned this, but when you add people to your party in Portable,
I'll show you what I'm made of.
for some reason, their addition line is voiced. That always throws me off guard, because it's not like that in any other version of the game.
I'll try to meet your expectations.
Okay, and of course, I do want to draw attention to Ken and Koromaru. I already mentioned this previously, but, oh wait, I can just go into the status screen. Sorry, still on FES mode, but if we look at Ken here, he'll be learning Mediarama within one level, and he starts with Diorama, a considerable upgrade over his starting performance in Persona 3 FES, and makes him quite good if you commit to using him in Portable, but I'm going to be sticking with the team we have here. Koromaru, I forget if I mentioned this, but he has a additional ability in Persona 3 Portable compared to FES, where he has a built-in Endure passive that is not reflected in his skill list. He can survive a fatal blow with 1 HP once per battle. Every character will eventually pick up this ability, but Koromaru starts with it, so that's a pretty interesting thing about him. The only other thing I really want to bring attention to, well, a couple other things. I would have liked to make a elect-resistant bow for Yukari, but I didn't have a spare Nihil bow, and I might still need the Legion bow, so I kept that around, and instead just patched out Aegis's elect weakness. The other thing that I want to say is that once I get to the first checkpoint, I probably will have to stop and farm some money, because I'll need to pull Narcissus out of the compendium, and I also want to finally get caught up on the fusion requests in this version of the game. And the easiest way to do that is to just start pulling personas out of the compendium, which will cost a pretty penny. We otherwise won't be seeing too much of Persona 3 Portable in this video, so get used to the visuals here right now. Before we continue on, cutting back to FES, though not the recording that I actually started the video on. This is actually the second Tartarus expedition, where I did have Ken in my party, and I do want to bring attention to Ken's skill set in this version of the game. Now, if you look at his skill set, Ken has Hama, Cruel Attack, Zionga, and he'll learn Diorama within one level. Kinda seems a little undercooked at this moment, and to be honest, he is. However, Ken is well worth your time to train up, and coming up after this expedition, he has an ace up his sleeve that'll come very in handy for many fights in the near future that I'm super eager to show off. The story is a little bit different in Persona 3 Portable. With all that established, let's get this underway. Remember, though, that in FES we have a little bit of a walk back to the border floor where the gate awaits us, so after a convenient cut, I can remember that I have not actually grabbed the Tartarus request from Elizabeth yet, so let me just get those locked down real quick. We'll get a new weapon for Aegis from this, though. Honestly, I want to use fused weapons for Aegis going forward, just because I can cover her weakness really easily that way. As you can see, for getting the 5th old document, we're going to get 120k yen, which is a pretty nice stipend. We're not able to get the next medal to get Koromaru's joke weapon, but that doesn't really matter, because all joke weapons going forward are only 100 attack power in FES. They're a little bit stronger in Portable, but still not anything too worth keeping in mind for serious usage. Other than that, one thing I did actually forget to mention is that I got the Aroundite sword for Mitsuru from Elizabeth's requests in this version. That sword gives Mitsuru 141 attack power and 30 extra SP to work with, so it's actually a pretty good upgrade for her. Alright, now let's actually get to the border floor. Alright, after that slight bit of backtracking, the path to the next floor is blocked, but no longer. It is becoming unobstructed. Before we get into the exploration, I would like to point out that due to a lucky pee break before entering Tartarus, I have been moved into the Great Condition. We haven't really had too many opportunities to see the Great Condition in effect. It doesn't have nearly as big an effect as the Tired Condition does on you. It's very minor bonuses to all your attributes. It's like a 5 to 10% bonus to the damage you deal, as well as a reduction to the damage you take. Not super noticeable. I believe it also slightly improves your critical rates and your dodge rates, but I really could not say for certain on that, because the effect is so minor if it does. One interesting thing that can happen, although I will say to you right now, I've never personally had a chance to see this. If you get knocked down while in the Great Condition in Persona 3 FES, there is a chance that your character that has the Great Condition will get back up without losing their turn, which can be occasionally useful, though you're not liable to see it. Like I said, I've never personally seen it. Fortunately, we are going to get a lot more opportunities to enter Tartarus while in the Great Condition, so maybe I can mess around with it when I have a chance to actually set up for it. Something seems different about the enemies around you. Please be careful. I probably will be getting into a lot of fights this recording, because like I said, I want to get Narcissus up to level 24, and I'd also like to get some experience for Mitsuru in this version. She's definitely a little behind. Alright.
There are 3 of them. Strike first.
Just want Fuka to get her words in. These are Justice Swords, and we are actually teed up to take these guys out, because very fortunately for me, they are weak to wind skills. Now, I could get a bit more damage out of Narcissus by equipping the Vayu Bracers, but I want to stick to a speed enhancer, just because I really like having that Tsukikaja buff in effect for every fight I get into. It just makes everything so much more consistent. As you can see, all-out attacks are just so powerful. Ooh, very nice. Love seeing these 5 wands. At this point, these cards double our experience gain, but provided they give us experience, which they're much more likely to do than they do the stat bonuses. One thing to note is that Narcissus was at 5,700. Nice!
Level has increased.
And I think that was Akihiko also.
My skills have improved.
We haven't got to hear those lines too much recently. I haven't been giving the explorative aspect of Persona 3 FES too much floor time in the past few Tartarus videos, so I wanted to do that. But like I was saying, Narcissus took 5,701 experience to level up. We got, what, 616 there? But look at how he actually got almost 2,000 experience points to that. Very differently from how it is in Persona 3 Reload. In Persona 3 FES and Portable, the experience everyone gains is, including your personas, is scaled on an individual basis. This does not seem to be the case in Persona 3 Reload from my experience. It does not seem like bringing low-level personas gets them more experience if you fight higher-leveled enemies, and I'm not sure if that applies for your party members in that version, but in FES, things that are under-leveled can catch up really quickly due to this mechanic. Here we've got some Ice Ravens, and conveniently these guys are weak to Fire Magic. Incidentally, I want to get Kotamaru set up to full assault, just to make sure he's doing the strongest thing possible, which since he has the Oggy bracers, that will be casting Oggy Lao. And he's liable to kill these things instantly with how much damage does that. See, 184, that 50% bonus is so good on Kotamaru, and because he naturally learns Fire Boost later, he can stack that for some intense damage.
It seems like it's
So, unfortunately, due to the way Kotamaru's AI works, well, the AI in general in Persona 3 FES works, we should be able to just whack this guy. Yeah, we'll be fine if I just whack him. Even if I miss, Kotamaru will come in for the follow-up. Yeah, he'll take him out. He has decent strength, so he does good enough damage with his knife strikes, but, yeah, Kotamaru can do some very good damage here, but the way the AI works in general is that they only go for all-out attack setups if you have them set to knockdown. We also have the rare or strong shadow for this section of Tartarus right here. These are champion knights, and also very fortunately for what I'm doing here, these guys are also weak to wind skills. It'd be very nice if we could finish these guys off with an all-out attack so I can definitely get the shuffle time. I'm getting a bunch of these enemies cleared out of my compendium right away. Very helpful. Just a sword, Ice Raven, Champion Knight. Don't have to worry too much about showing too many of these things. Forget if these guys, I got my compendium right here. Let's see, they drain elect skill. So hopefully the scan comes through before Akihiko gets a chance to go. And he'll go for a dinky little punch here. Fortunately, it got the Champion Knight survived until the protagonist's turn, so we are able to easily tap him down with Magaru. And again, this is another thing that I haven't had too many opportunities to bring attention to. It's unfortunate that we can't get that persona there. But when the protagonist gets the victory in battle, you will always get shuffle time in Persona 3 FES and Portable. That is not the case in Reload, which is very frustrating. Alright, with that taken care of, I'll have to, ooh, another rare form. Let's see if we can't get a Nihil knife for Kotamaru. Just barely caught it before it was gonna run away on me. Nice thing about Kotamaru's high agility also is that he has high physical accuracy due to it. Nihil gun, useless to me at this point. I already have enough Nihil guns. Would have liked the Nihil knife. But Kotamaru is very accurate, so he's pretty good at taking down those rare forms with his knife strikes. Should he be able to, get them off before I finish them off, which I'm pretty liable to do with my speed enhancer. I'll scan to see what's up ahead. It might take a while, so please move on. The other thing that Kotamaru specializes in beyond fire skills is, of course, Muto skills, which are not too useful at this point because Kotamaru has pretty low luck. Hey, there's the first level up we need for Narcissus. As I was saying, Kotamaru has pretty low luck, so even things that are weak to Muto skills at this point, he's not too liable to tag them with it. Once he gets Mudon and Muto boost, he'll be much more consistent with doing that, but not right now in FES. In Portable, Kotamaru's insta-kill skills never really come online due to Maniac mode, seemingly heavily reducing the odds you're likely to hit things with insta-kill skills. It's actually very frustrating and makes insta-kill skills pretty useless in that version of the game. In this version of the game, they're quite good, especially if you have a highly optimized persona for using them. Hey, another new enemy here. Of course, we've seen these previously, the Insidious Mayas. These guys are weak to ice. Let me think about this. Do I want to have Mitsuru stay on knockdown just for these guys? Yeah, let's do that. Let's have everybody go to knockdown. That way we can conserve on some SP when there isn't a need for everybody to kill these guys right away.
Well done.
So let's see. Or rather, there isn't a need for everybody to cover like a weakness that I have. Unfortunately, Kotamaru happened to miss and get a stumble there. That can happen to him. It's just something you have to deal with. Another like minor mechanic about Persona 3 FES and Portable I haven't really had an opportunity to bring too much attention to, although I believe I've mentioned them at least a couple times, is that different weapons have different stumble weights. Heavier weapons like two-handed katanas and axes have a high tendency to stumble if you miss an attack with them, while lighter weapons like fists and knives don't too often have to deal with stumbles, and weapons like bows and guns never suffer from stumbles. So that's a unique perk that the protagonist, Yukari, and Aegis enjoy in Persona 3 FES and just Aigis and Yukari in Portable. Getting another level up for Mitsuru there, and a Robe of Salvation. I'm actually gonna probably give that to Akihiko. His amenity shirt is pretty outdated, or his amenity suit. He can get a couple extra points of luck and a huge defense boost. Defense kind of subtracts from damage pretty flatly from what I've seen here. It's not quite like a 30 extra defense will reduce incoming damage by 30 points, but it's kind of close to that. So pretty helpful to Akihiko. There's Fullerene legs. That is leg equipment for Aigis. Got another rare form over here. And once again, I just barely caught it before it started running away. When they start to run away, okay, that denies me the opportunity to actually get anything out of it regardless, but when they start running away in FES, there is absolutely no chance you are going to catch them. They will get away from you every single time. In Portable, they're a bit slower, so if you do happen to alert them, you can catch them, provided they don't immediately run into a wall and just teleport out. I sense something powerful, but I need more time to find out exactly where it is. Just wanted you to be aware of that for now. Other things to mention about Koromaru that are really good about him right now is that he actually has 2 immunities. He is immune to fire skills and darkness skills, which is a great perk for him to have. Gotta level up for the protagonist. I would like to say that I don't have any goals for levels for Portable or Reload going forward, but I would like to get to level 39 on the protagonist before the end of the upcoming moon cycle. I want to be level 39 in time for the upcoming full moon boss. Anyways, another thing I was going to mention about Koromaru in terms of his defenses is that he does have an unfortunate weakness to light skills, which are purely insta-kill skills in FES and Portable. Well, okay, not purely, but the ones that aren't that are very rare, and I think it's only the fusion spell Justice. And even then, I think Justice checks against almighty resistance, so yeah, just be careful when dealing with stuff that's slinging around Hama and Hamon if you have Koromaru in the party. He can be very, very susceptible to those skills being thrown his way, especially on account of his low luck. We should be getting to close to another level up for Narcissus. I'll just leave that one be. It's not connected to anything that I care to check out. Let's bait this guy real quick. There is another thing that I want to bring attention to once we come across it. And with that battle against some insidious Mayas, we've gotten Narcissus to level 24. He learns the Dekunda skill, which I don't care about, but what's really important is that he is about to produce something. Will you allow it to continue? You can refuse this, but there is absolutely no point in doing so. It just causes the item to be completely lost, so always accept this when it comes up. They just remove this aspect entirely of item production in Persona 3 Reload. Wisely so. Anyways, we get a king card with the Narcissus Flower. The Narcissus Flower is an incredibly powerful accessory. It makes you flatly immune to charm as a status element, and I highly recommend you pick up at least one of these. 2 is also makes certain fights more comfortable, but 1 is the amount that's only really necessary, especially, let me see here, I should have a few of these. Yeah, as long as I have these Amrita waters for the situation I want this for, 1 should be plenty. I just need to make sure the protagonist is immune to charm. Anyways, the thing I was going to bring up very conveniently is tied to chests right here. This is another thing that I haven't mentioned at all, and it's one of those somewhat obscure mechanics that can be easy to miss for a while, but you'll definitely notice it after playing enough of Persona 3. I know where it is now, the 98th floor. I realize it's still a ways away, but please be ready. But treasure chests in Persona 3 FES Portable and even Reload, they have a specific pool of items that they pull from, depending on what floor you are on. And this pool means that certain floors will consistently give you similar items when you run through them and check for them. So if you ever have a floor where you get huge amounts of money from the chest, keep those floors in mind, because that means if you check them again, there is a decent odd you'll get good amounts of money there, or equipment, or valuable healing items like beads. Definitely note that down. Like I said, this is still a thing in Persona 3 Reload, but it's less prominent there because, of course, the chests do not refresh when you return to the base of Tartarus. Do I even want to bother attacking these things? I might just wait on that. So you can't really, it would take a while to notice it because you'd have to leave Tartarus and come back on different nights. I'm not confident my Magaru can actually finish these things off from Narcissus, so I'm actually just gonna let everybody wait and let these things get back up. When your party members are set to knockdown and everything is already knocked down, they will not bother attacking. You can force them to attack, though, by using the rush command. Alright, let's take this guy out and get back to the exploration. But yeah, I just wanted to go over that, so always note down floors where you get valuable items, and also keep in mind floors where you get useless stuff like odd morsels and rancid gravies. Definitely, you can just go straight for the stairs if you end up on floors like those. Now that I've hit the level that I want to hit for tonight, I probably will go for gathering more money. So far, I have not gotten any money from chests. I've actually been having pretty bad luck with that in recent recordings, so, ooh, a heavy axe. You know what? I've been meaning to equip the bus stop sign, but you know what? This would actually be a bit more interesting. We've got a heavy axe now, +2 strength, not bad. Pretty decent upgrade, actually. We haven't had a chance to see the protagonist using a bludgeon yet, so let's equip that. Axes, pretty slow on the field, pretty inaccurate, and like I said, if you miss with them, you have a pretty high chance of stumbling, but they certainly look cool, right? So let's wait for this guy to... Oh my god. I hate it when they... we should be able to just bait this guy and then reset his position by going away. Yeah, alright. Sometimes the shadows do not like to play ball in Persona 3 FES. Starting things out with enemies in Persona 3 Reload, I'll just, as usual, be periodically interspersing these into the battles that we get into, or the floors that we explore. We've got some Justice Swords here, and these guys are pretty easy to deal with, because they are vulnerable to darkness-type skills, and we just so happen to get a potent dark casting persona. This damage from Black Frost probably will, yeah, ooh, they barely were able to survive that first attack there. Now I'm actually going to play this out because I want to draw attention to something. If we go into shuffle time, you will see that I have already attained Arcana Burst. This is because we can go to floors that we've already clear the monad blocks there, and we will be able to get Major Arcana cards very easily. So I just went through the first half of Yabbashah, cleared out all the monad passages I came along, also dunked on some of the strong shadows that I came across, and quickly amassed all the cards I needed for Arcana Burst. You'll also note that I have the Justice card there, so now I can pick 2 cards from Shuffle Time, greatly increasing the amount of rewards I can get in a single Tartarus expedition. Highly recommend securing the Justice card as soon as possible once you are able to draw it. That'll help out so much in the future. Another new enemy, we've got Insidious Mayas, their reload version here, and these guys are weak to ice, so pretty easy to take out when we've got a persona like Black Frost. Let's check out how much damage a Bufudyne with single target boost does. Now imagine if we could get Ice Boost mixed into there. Oh boy, that would just be absolutely devastating for these things. Oh, whoops, miss. Well, at least we get to see Koromaru in action, so let's have Koromaru fire off an Eiga spell here.
Koro-chan's collar is working. He can summon his persona.
Pretty cool, although not exactly impressive damage there. We'll wait for a little bit until Ken has an opportunity to do something kind of cool with his persona. Life drain there. Ooh. Let's see if Junpei gets lucky. We're gonna have him fire off an assault dive, and yes, he got his critical hit. Whenever you see the cut-in animation like that, that means your character got a critical hit, and look at the damage from that. Wait until we can get some buffs mixed in there. Junpei is going to be taking off in the near future.
Cute, strong, and a robot? That's way overkill.
Indeed, Junpei, indeed. But remember how we read that security site note? If we get enough distance going while dashing, suddenly we'll start glowing blue, and we can launch a special preemptive strike. This strike will always score us a first strike, regardless of our position relative to the enemy when we hit them. And as you can see, we also have a new enemy here, Ice Ravens, which you can take 3 guesses what they are weak to. Let's wheel out Eligor. We've went through the effort of getting him, and I went through the effort of carding growth onto him, so why don't I just render that completely invalid and rotate him into a fight to get his attack done anyway. There we go. Still waiting for an opportunity for Ken to strike something that his persona is effective against. That enemy is acting kind of weird. Please consider turning back. We also got a new tutorial in Persona 3 Reload. That shadow seems especially aggressive, doesn't it? Some enemies roaming around Tartarus may already be afflicted with status ailments. They will move differently depending on the ailment, which will take effect on its start of combat. This shadow is afflicted with the Rage ailment. The Rage ailment causes one to lose their sense of reason. Enraged enemies will aggressively target you, even from a distance. They will charge upon spotting you, but struggle to redirect their force of their trajectory. So keep calm, sidestep, and wait for your opening to attack. I'm not sure why, but it appears to be agitated. It's fast, but not well coordinated. Stay calm and dodge, and you should be fine. So, let's get this thing, or we could just attack it, you know, that also works. Is it a new enemy? No, so okay, now we can cut back to FES. Picking up another new enemy in Reload, one that I actually did not encounter during my FES exploration, Mind Dice. Fortunately, these guys are pretty similar to how they are in FES. Actually, that's been a running theme for this particular block of Tartarus, or this section of Yabbashah, I should say. These guys are weak to elect, and conveniently, this is a good opportunity to get Ken to use his persona.
I have to do what must be done. I have to. Let's see your strength. Let's get them, everyone!
Alright, good stuff, Ken. And we can, of course, set them up for the all-out attack and get Ken's unique little image for when we win with an all-out attack. After shuffle time, of course. It is pretty silly how these come after, or before the end card. Also, I should draw attention to the Cups card has been retooled pretty heavily for Persona 3 Reload. I haven't really had a chance to go over this, but they now have a variety of buffs that they can apply to your party instead of just being HP restoration all the time. For instance, this one at 6 is one of the effects we can get. Your first magic attack in the next battle will do more than double the damage. It's honestly not that useful, but I guess it's kinda cool every now and again. Anyways. Don't look down on me. But yeah, that's that for Ken. Let's continue on.
Perfecto.
Just want to draw attention to a bit of good luck while I was exploring in Reload. I got a Giga Power Band from this chest for Junpei, plus 5 to his strength stat. Very nice bonus for this stage of the game. Sadly, it's only on par with the Mega Power Band from Portable. Can't wait to get access to the plus 10 strength Giga Power Bands in Portable. We've got the next, what is it? I'm sorry, mind blank. Rare form for Persona 3 Reload here, the Invaluable Hand. Now, I don't know offhand what this thing is weak to, or if it's weak to anything, because we're increasingly hitting the point where that is not something that can be guaranteed with the rare forms that we're coming across. But this is a good opportunity as any. I'm just double checking to see if I got anything with Ice Boost, which does not seem to be the case. So instead, I'll just go with the thing that has the highest magic stat of what we got, which is probably Black Frost. But this is a good opportunity for him to strut his stuff anyway. Let's show off King and I. Not bad, not bad. And let's see, he is not immune to ice, so we can probably just pop off with another Bufudyne and deal some pretty good damage here. Let's see how much this does. Yeah, not nearly as much. As you can see, King and I, pretty powerful skill. Anyways, let's just rotate through everyone's skills, see if we can't take this guy out before our turn limit is up. Junpei also can do pretty good here. Let's go with Kodown here. Because he has a decent chance of critting the enemy. Let's see if his Assault Dive is true. Well, it wasn't, but it was enough to finish the enemy off. We should get a pretty good item from that. Have I gotten Legion? Oh no, it would have the new on it. Xane is a useless skill, don't need that card. And let's just see how much experience we get from that. Nice! And a Rustic Coin. Very good stuff.
Alright, now back to
Yet another new enemy in Reload. This Furious Gigas, not weak to wind. Don't expect that to happen. Instead, you want to use Eiga skills on it. Conveniently, we of course have a very potent Eiga caster in Black Frost, but of course Koromaru could also take advantage of this thing's weakness, which he might be able to. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed that the protagonist is going before Koromaru. Koromaru is crazy fast and almost always goes first, but I do have a Giga Agility, or not a Giga, but a Mega Agility band on the protagonist to make sure he goes first and can benefit from his Invigorate skill. There we go. Take this guy down. We should be getting pretty close to a level up for Eligor with the protagonist, which would help out immensely for getting Life Aid online. And what the heck, let's get Koromaru's card for finishing with an all-out attack. Woof, woof, woof. Indeed, Koromaru. But that's not all for this Persona 3 Reload interlude. We've also got a Monad door. As you'd probably expect, each new section of Tartarus brings us tougher Monad enemies to deal with. So we have to keep varying what we bring to the table for these Monad encounters up if we want to stay on top of these things. Granted, I don't really pay attention to what kind of battles I'm getting into altogether, so maybe that's not the best advice coming from me. Regardless, let's take on this thing here. Let's take it down. Alright, as always, you should always up Sylphid Aura before getting into a tough fight. It's always a good idea to lead with that before you get access to auto team buffs. Alright, let's see. Chaos Cyclops. We don't know what this guy's capable of, but we do have a lot on the table for what our team can do. You know what? I'm going to actually play it a little bit safe here, and wait until I know what I can do against this thing to actually start firing off attacks against it. Meanwhile, the rest of our team can get to work. I also want to keep my Theurgies in the bank until I know for sure what this guy can do. That's not a big threat to us at all. In fact, we just kind of dodged altogether that, so that's pretty good for us. Let's see here. I'm not sure, let's just go with Hypogon and see if we get lucky here. Maybe we will. Alright, so he blocks that. Nothing going there. Of course, Junpei just gonna go with the assault dives, and here he goes, firing off a crit. This is going to become a much more regular occurrence from Junpei going forward. And you know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's just go straight for the hack and blast here. Why not? I was considering having Koromaru fire off his unique Theurgy, but honestly, with the amount of damage this is liable to do, not super necessary. This thing is dizzied, so it's in a pretty rough spot right now. Ooh, it's immune to pierce attacks. That is unfortunate for me, but ultimately not a big deal. So instead, let's just switch over to the things that we know can deal good damage to it, like Black Frost here. We'll fire off Fufudai. And what the heck? We'll have Koromaru use his other Theurgy, his first Theurgy, Hound of Hades. Severe dark damage to a single enemy. When it's downed like this and getting a 50% damage bonus, pretty good stuff coming from Koromaru. Not bad, not bad. Chaos Cyclops cannot get up, and I don't even know if he wants to at this point, because that just invites me to fire off even more devastating things at him. And Junpei can once again... let's go for... no, wait, he's immune to Torrent Shot. I was going to say, let's mix it up with Torrent Shot, but that was would not exactly have been a good idea. 2 crits for Junpei this battle. Wonderful stuff.
Skills have improved.
Glad to hear it, Akihiko. Anyways, even though I seldom plan to hit things with the heavy axe, the increased strength and the, higher attack power has a pretty positive effect on our all-out attacks. I was just checking to see if there was a chest beyond that guy. I'm mostly going to be avoiding things at this point if it's not a strong shadow, just because I'd like to conserve my energy for the second section of this portion of Tartarus. Are you tired? Please don't push yourself too hard. I always have a hard time classifying these, like, the back half of Tartarus blocks, because, like, I want to say, you know, like, the second half of this block of Tartarus, but obviously we're in the second half of Yabbashah, so the second half of Yabbashah. It's really hard for me to find a good way to word that. The strong presence is on the 98th floor. Please be careful. And any other word I use, like the second half of this expedition, I don't know, it just feels wrong. Ooh, 56,344 yen. We got that on floor 95. Keep that in mind. But yeah, we're going to start getting some pretty good payouts, and if you're only experienced with Persona 3, Persona 3 Reload, your eyes probably just popped at the amount of money we just got there. You never get anything like that from a chest in Persona 3 Reload, not even at the end game. The economy is a lot different in FES and Portable. It's one of those little things that you wouldn't know just from playing one version or the newest version of the game, so it's an interesting thing to see. I honestly really like it because it's just so cool to see like those huge amounts of money. Another thing that this isn't a super consistent thing, but I have noticed when you get big amounts of money from one chest on a floor, there is a decent chance that the other chest also contains a good amount of money. So why don't we test the limits of that theory and see if we can't get that other chest over there. I'm just gonna bait this guy and then try to reset his positioning. Very good strategy for if these shadows are just moving in these terrible patterns. Bait them, reset them, and oh, that's unfortunate. Now I'm gonna have to clear through 2 guys, so let me get that taken care of. It's worth worth noting that at this stage of the game, no money, but still something that worth trying for. But it's worth noting that this stage of the game, your party members can start to feel pretty vestigial if you have pretty good coverage on your protagonist, because a lot of fights can boil down to hit the enemy's weakness and then watch them get deleted with an all-out attack. But of course, your party members still provide a valuable thing in that they contribute pretty heavily to the damage of said all-out attacks, so they're not useless in that sense. How do you feel? Please don't push yourself too hard. Sorry, Fuka, I have a hiccup. That's how I'm feeling right now. Let's see what we get from this one. An Aramid Full Shell. That's another piece of Aegis armor. Getting some pretty good equipment for Aegis right now. I think stuff that's even better than her swimwear at this point. I say swimwear, but it's just a sundress. Not quite the most effective piece of swimwear. Also not very aerodynamic either. Anyways, let's get this guy taken care of. I had a thought, and then I just kind of forgot it. Ooh, cyber shoes. Let's take a look at what that does for us. Alright, I was gonna say that Personae like Shisa are really nice to have at this point with their really wide-reaching coverage. Also, Evade Elect Medium is pretty good. If I don't get a tower weapon made for Yukari pretty soon, although might not be using her too much in the near future. That's still a good thing to keep in the pocket. The enemy is on the next floor. Please be careful. Incidentally, I did find out how equipment with evasion effects are. They don't work like abilities. Abilities that modify your evasion in Persona 3 FES and Portable, they multiply the amount of evasion you have against that particular skill. So the Evade Win skill would take our evasion rate, we would get our standard evasion rate determined against a Win skill and then have it multiplied by 3. Equipment that give the evasion modification effect, oh god, I don't know the range on this axe at all. It's been a hot minute since I used an axe. But equipment that gives you bonuses to your evasion give a flat bonus to your evasion. So like these shoes give evade elect medium. That is plus 10. That is a flat plus 10% to our evade rate against elect type skills. So say we had a 10% base evasion rate against elect type skills, or just in general, if an elect type skill is thrown our way, we would get that bonus of 10, so we'd have 20% evasion instead. And the high bonus gives you plus 15%. Let's see, what's something I can chuck out for this? I shouldn't need a Yammotsu Chikome anymore, so we can just chuck her to the side. I'm mostly just taking this Queen Mab for the purpose of filling out my compendium. I don't believe I had her previously. Suppose I could have also tossed out Narcissus at this point, but you know what? He's earned his keep. Who knows? I'm gonna find some use for him later. If I didn't have the flower from him already, his oh god. Let's get on the stairs. Stairways to the next floor also de-aggro shadows. Though be mindful, your party members have a tendency to poke out and still aggro things. Please be careful. There are 3 enemies in the middle. Alright, I'm gonna head back to the floor, and we've got a procession of bosses to get through, so let me get prepared.
There's someone on this floor. Find them, please.
Picking up in Portable for a little bit, we've reached the 95th floor, and that is where our first lost person is located in Persona 3 Portable. There was an enemy that I didn't encounter in FES, so I'm hoping I'll run into it eventually. Let's just get this guy out of the way. Do not feel like trying to juke around him while I talk to the person, and we're going to have to go on the stairs to lose his attention. Let's take this guy out. It was just an ice raven, nothing too special. Anyways, crouching old woman. Let's rescue her. And of course, because this is Persona 3 Portable, we are taken back to the entrance of Tartarus. No option to send an escort in this version. But hey, I think I have enough money to pull Narcissus out of the compendium, so let me get rid of this junk one and take care of that. Alright, another thing that I was looking for in Persona 3 Portable is an enemy I didn't see in Persona 3 FES, the Mind Dice. Not that there's anything too special about these guys, they are just a like a week, which is the same in Persona 3 Reload, but just for the sake of thoroughness and saying that I did indeed show off everything possible between the 3 versions, we're going to see them get absolutely annihilated with an all-out attack here. So, Shisa in tow, he can Mazio them, and then they are set up. I would like to say, though, since I'm not going to get a chance to say too much else about Persona 3 Portable, I've been having horrible luck with my shuffle times. no money, no experience boosting cards. I mean, I've been getting weapon cards, which will pay off eventually, but yeah, look at this garbage. I already have Sarasvati in my stock, so that really does not help me that much. I was complaining too much. I was surprised I got that.
There's someone on this floor. Find them, please.
And I'm just gonna be rolling all of the Persona 3 portable stuff into this first video, so this is actually after the first boss fight, but I am just going to include it in the little montage that I'm doing right now because, well, we're here. So there is a person on floor 101. Let's see if we can't find them relatively quickly. This guy is positioned really annoyingly. Let's see if I can't get around him, and actually I was able to juke him. I'm not usually capable of doing that. Oh god, you gotta be kidding me. Not only did I get cornered like that, about everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. That's okay, that's okay. We've got plenty of revival beads, or at least enough to account for any potential disasters. So we'll just get Yukari right back in. She's gonna have that shadow breathing down her neck as she gets us restored back up, and now we're fine, we're fine. Everything is okay. We don't need to worry about what just happened. I would really like some money, game, if it's not too much to ask. My finances are dire. Like, yeesh, I've just not been getting any money this trip, and it's honestly kind of frustrating, because that means I have to do a bunch of grinding, and then... but that's life, though. You're always wanting for money, right? Hey, speaking of, there we go. Gonna be spending a lot of that on compendium expenditures, just for the purpose of, there's the person we're looking for, but just for the purpose of completing Theodore's fusion requests in this version. I'll have to pull out a Valkyrie, I'll have to create an Oberon, I'll have to create an Orthrus. Fortunately, I already have one of the queued up requests after I complete the first one already ready to complete. And here is a sitting man. Is that one of the people that's went missing? It sure is, Fuka. Let's take him back. Alright, if there's anything else I'd like to remark on in the immediate future for Persona 3 Portable, well, it's gonna be included here. It's a good thing you were able to find the missing person. They're resting in a safe place now. You can go on and keep exploring if you want. What safe place? Is it like a storage closet that we can't see for Tartarus? Now you got me curious, Fuka. And while I was down here, I decided since I had enough money, I pulled Valkyrie out of the compendium and just carded Tarukaja onto her, which is a way that you can cheat the fusion requests in Persona 3 Portable if you're needing to get a specific skill. This Valkyrie will also come in handy for fulfilling a future fusion request that unlocks from Theodore. I see that you have brought Valkyrie with the skill Tarukaja. A fine specimen indeed. Thank you for doing as I have asked. The reward I'm going to give you this time has an unusual effect. With it, you'll be able to create Pale Rider, a persona with an affinity for the Death Arcana. If you are strong enough to control this persona, then please give it a try. Pale Rider is not that good, so I'm not super pressed about whether or not I'll be able to use him. And let me see, I think the next one that opens up is Oberon. I might actually be able to fulfill that with direct fusion. I'll have to see. Well, I can't fuse him, but if I happen to open a chest that gives me enough money to buy a level 17 Oberon outright, that also works. So let's just pull that one out, and let's turn this into Theodore. I worked really hard for this one, Theodore. One thing you'll note about the quest reward for this one is that it is a winter outfit for Akihiko. Because of the fusion spell requests no longer existing in Portable, a lot of the casual outfits for the characters were relocated into different requests for the reward that Theo gives you. It seems you've completed a request. One moment, please, while I check. Ah, an Oberon, and he is at the requested level. Did you know that the personas are other facets of your personality? As they grow, so do you. However, the rate at which they grow depends more on your social links than on your fighting ability. I suggest you make many friends and deepen the bonds you have established. Please take this as your reward. And we get the winter outfit for Akihiko. What is the next one that he unlocks for us? Battle out with Maragi. How could I forget that one? I'll have to see if I can complete that one easily enough. While I deliberate on that, one thing I can do is turn in the material requests. I see you have 5 tiara hairs. Thank you. You have claimed part of your enemy's head, just as the samurai did long ago. Consider it a sign of your victory. Okay, that's one way of thinking of Theo, and we get 2 precious eggs. I see you have the knight's reins with you, 4 of them, just as I requested. Thank you. Are you wondering why I asked you to gather this item for me? That's not what matters, though. What's important is that you defeated the champion knight. I am thrilled to see you getting stronger. You're gonna be hearing this dialogue again later, because Elizabeth says the exact same thing, but we get a Greaves of Dawn for our effort. In the meantime, while I'm deliberating how I'll get a Vedala with Maragi in this file, let me see here. I did find something that would allow me to clear a different thing that I need to create. Let me see here. Did I want to do that fusion? I'm looking for something that creates Nagaraja there. Actually, this one right here does, and I don't care about this persona at all. Nagaraja is actually not a bad persona at all, because he, as long as you have at least one social link level with Emperor, which is pretty likely at this point, given that Mitsuru forces you to join the student council, he will pick up Ma Tarukaja, pretty valuable skill to have. Of course, I have a skill card for it, so it's not super critical that I use him, but it's still nice to have him. He also picks up the pretty decent Torrent Shot physical skill. But the other reason that I wanted to fuse him, and thankfully he's automatically registered in the compendium, is that I can fuse him into Valkyrie to directly get Orthrus with Dodge Slash after refreshing this enough, and that's another persona I'm gonna need to fuse eventually. I don't really care to get Matarikaja onto him. If I really want to, I can just get Nagaraja back out of the compendium. One thing to note while I was exploring is that I found the very funnily named Gabu Sword for Mitsuru, which has a high chance of poisoning. Flat upgrade over the Serpent Sword in terms of attack power and accuracy, and the poison odds. Not that I really care about that, but it's there. It was from a rare chest, so I just wanted to draw attention to that. Well, I'm just trying to get some money, but I've run into a very obnoxious event floor. It's pitch black. I'm sorry, but I can't tell what's around you. Be careful as you go through this floor. These floors are annoying as hell in Persona 3 Portable. You can't see anything, but the shadows sure as heck can see you. I got very lucky here that the stairs were right next to me. Those floors often are huge, and they can be very, very frustrating to navigate. They also are in Reload, but thankfully they're a lot more tolerable there. We'll be seeing them eventually. Another event that popped up while I was exploring, you can take advantage of the enemy's carelessness. It seems you'll be able to gather many items dropped by the enemies on this floor. What this means is that item drop rates are doubled for enemies, which is already pretty nice, because Persona 3 Portable, maybe I'm just paranoid, but it feels like the general drop rates for enemies have been increased slightly. I definitely seem to get more items from enemies in Portable than I do in FES. This effect does still exist in FES, but the means of obtaining it is wildly different. The one thing that's nice about it in FES, though, is that it is not a floor-specific effect. When you have it, it is in play for the entirety of your Tartarus exploration. We'll go over how you get it later. It's gonna be some time before we have some free opportunity in order to get this effect in Persona 3 FES. Also, I meant to kill that enemy, but my selection was defaulted to run away, and I ran away. It took some doing, but I eventually got enough money to pull Take Minakata out of the compendium. And he is important because if I go over to my Persona Fusion screen, I have Pyrojack, and oh, that is not what I wanted to create. God damn it. You gotta be kidding me, man. Why does McCoy exist in this version? Okay, so it was supposed to fuse into Vetala, because with a Hangman, that does get me a Devil Persona, but Take Minakata is just low enough, or at the very least, Pyrojack is just low enough that that won't get me Vetala. And I don't want to fuse off Orthrus or Omitsuno, because I need them for other requests. Let me think about this. Okay, after deliberating on it for a little bit, the Take Minakata is just a financial loss I'm going to eat, so I'm just going to fuse Vetala into Onimitsuno, or Omitsunu, and then I will take the Sarasvati I've got, fuse that into Shisa to create another Omitsunu, and that will allow me to complete every single fusion requests that I can for Theodore right now. I don't really care what this turns into. Wind Damp, wow. I might register that actually. That is surprisingly helpful to have at this stage of the game. Alright, Theodore, you wouldn't believe the effort that I had to go through in order to get all these. So, let's get our sugar key. It seems you've completed a request. One moment, please, while I check. I notice you have a Vidala, and he has learned Maraki. Well done. You have fulfilled my request. I have a different reward for you this time. With this, you'll be able to create the persona King Frost. If you're strong enough to control this persona, then give it a try. Please take your reward. And of course, now we can fuse King Frost. Not that I really care about him that much in this version of the game, but the more important thing is now I can turn in this request. Okay, it doesn't have a deadline. It seems you've completed a request. One moment, please, while I check. I see you have with you an Orthrus that has learned the skill Dodge Slash. Well done indeed. You have fulfilled my request. My reward this time is something that your friend should become acquainted with. However, in hindsight, it may be a little too revealing. This is just a Yukari's normal outfit. What are you trying to imply here, Theodore? Anyways, the real thing that we really get access to out of doing that is this one, and this will get us the Machine Core. I also have a little section going on this for Persona 3 FES that you'll be seeing later, but I care about this for different reasons in Persona 3 Portable. I notice you have an Omitsunu with and it has reached a sufficient level. It's an impressive persona. You have done well. I have an interesting reward for you. With it, you'll be able to create Natataishi. If you're strong enough to control this persona, then please give it a try. Now, Natataishi is a decent persona on his own, but he has a very particular attribute about him that I really care about in Persona 3 Portable. Let me see if I have anything that creates him. It took some looking, but for once the game was relatively merciful with how long it took. So the reason I would like to create Natataishi is because he gives us a skill card for Herculean Strike. Now, he learns it at level 42, and unfortunately we don't have a maxed out Chariot social link to get that immediately. Once we do have it, though, he'll immediately pop out that Herculean Strike card, and then, you know, I could just card that right onto this near cap strength persona that I have, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Another option I do have for this guy in particular is that I could get the Growth 3 skill onto him. I think I have more than enough opals now from the Phantom Lords, or whatever they're called, the Lantern robe guys, that I could get Growth 3 and start duping that and just start putting on random things, and sooner or later I'd be able to get Herculean Strike off of this guy, so that's definitely something I want to keep in mind. And actually, this guy is wind resistant, so I might just fuse him in general, but that's neither here nor there. So that is the end of this montage for Persona 3 Portable, and the last thing we're going to really be covering for Persona 3 Portable until I get to the next boss fight in the next video. This ended up being quite a bit more of an ordeal than I was expecting. I'm 2 hours and 11 minutes into recording this particular session right now. Brutal, brutal. And I still got the next boss to cover. Lovely. And just quickly fitting in one final addendum for Persona 3 Portable. I've still got some money farming, or at least equipment farming I want to do. As you can see, my finances are pretty dire in Portable. I had really bad luck getting money this time around. Fortunately, I should be able to fuse up something relatively powerful that should allow the FEMC to ward off anything that would otherwise dare approach her, and that'll allow me to get enough money in due time. I do also have quite a bit of equipment already kicking around inside my inventory, so selling off a lot of this stuff should also improve my finances a little bit, but the more the better. So that's what I'm going to be taking care of at Portable, and hopefully we can get around a million yen after my efforts. I would also like to get another Nihil Bow. In fact, I definitely need to get another Nihil Bow, because it's going to be becoming important very, very soon. But that's all I need to take care of in Portable otherwise. For some reason, this floor has a very unique roundabout layout or surrounding the teleporter. Anyway, for this boss fight, I've swapped out Akihiko for Aigis, because these bosses use ice skills. With Mitsuru at my side and Aigis in Orgia mode, these things really can't do too much to us. Koromaru might sweat a little bit, but he's not actually weak to ice, so he'll still do fine. And these bosses are weak to fire, so that also helps Koromaru out quite a bit once we get the scans going. So, with that all established, let's get into it. I've got Shisa as my main persona right now, because it nullifies ice, making it perfect for this fight. You can win. I just know it.
This one's dangerous. Stay focused.
Alright, that's some good advice there, Fuka. Anyways, as always, we're going to immediately send Aegis into Orgia mode, where we don't know these things' weakness yet, so we want everybody to be in full assault. I want Mitsuru to be on heal and support, just in case. It really shouldn't matter too much, but if she gets the opportunity to heal somebody, that's so much better. Anyways, Shisa doesn't have any fire skills of his own. Well, actually, do I have any Miragi rocks, now that I think about it? As a matter of fact, I do have a Miragi gem, so you know what? Let's throw it out. And let's immediately get an all-out attack. If we're lucky, Koromaru now realizes that they're weak to fire, and though he won't set up for all-out attacks, he will just immediately default to hitting these things with fire skills. Check that out. Alright, there comes the Makabakarn. That's a little unfortunate, because Koromaru will not bother to clear that for us. He's kind of unhelpful like that. So he's gonna go for, what is it? He's gonna go for... here goes Aegis with the Orgia mode. He's gonna go for slash attack since the Makabakarn is in effect. Here comes Aegis with her Swift Strike. That's some pretty good damage right there. Yeah. Do I want to bother just firing off the Mabufu to clear that? Yeah, let's, I did get the scan, right? Yeah. I have a bad tendency to forget that kind of thing. Anyways, knockdown on Koromaru, and let's just fire off Mabufu to get rid of the Makabakarn. It's gonna reflect right back at me, but because I nullify ice, it's not gonna do anything. These things also have Mind Charge, as you can see right here. So those Mabufulas can be pretty nasty once the Mind Charge comes into play. They also have Bufudyne, which is some really scary damage at this stage. Unfortunate that the Makabakarn is coming through, but Aegis is probably about to take out at least one of these things with Swift Strike, so it's not a big deal if that happened. Yep, there goes one. Koromaru's... oh, he's not gonna go for it. That's weird. Do they reflect... what is it? Do they reflect slash skills? Huh. That makes me a little bit nervous about what I was gonna do. Well, I nullify ice anyway, so I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Aegis has so much defense in Orgia mode, she's fine. Koromaru might take some nasty damage here, but he should be... yeah, he'll survive. And because Mitsuru gets the next go, she's going to immediately top him back off. Diorama is pretty good healing at this stage of the game. Yeah, this is a very straightforward fight. Pretty, oh, come on, Aegis. Go for the, please go for the, Swift Strikes for us. Whatever, we got the all-out attack. This is a more stylish way to win anyway, so... I will say, at this point in the game, don't expect there to be too much difference between how fights go in Persona 3 FES compared to how they go in Portable. They're going to be getting a lot more similar at this point because we're going to have pretty similar attacking options available to us, and they're about equally strong between the two versions of the game. There is a Precious Egg reward. Very nice, very nice. This was all I wanted Mitsuru for, and it was probably kind of unnecessary. I'm going to bench her for Akihiko, and I'm probably going to swap out... Aegis for Yukari, because I want Yukari for the upcoming boss fight. Or maybe Junpei. I'll have to think about it, but I'm going to decide on that. As I usually do in Persona 3 FES, I'm going to try and make it to the next checkpoint, which I should be able to do, and then that's where I'll call it an expedition. I won't go for 2 for 2 on the bosses for this expedition, but that's where I'm going to cut it here. I'll probably show off the remaining new enemies in Persona 3 FES and Portable in this version of the game as well. For Persona 3 Portable, I plan to take a more direct approach for this fight. Just note that I have a Jikokuten who has Auto Tarukaja and Auto Sukukaja equipped. I also equipped my Energy Ring just to give me a bit more of an HP buffer. Let's get into the fight.
This one's dangerous. Stay focused.
For this version of the fight, I'm just going to dispense with the whole knockdown into all-out attack lark, and I'm just going to equip Ares and spam Gale Slash. I'm also going to send Aegis into Orgia mode, as usual, since that's just more effective if all I care is if she's using Swift Strikes, or her newly learned, Fatal End skill, which is single target, but also isn't super bad in its own right. It'd be really nice if I got a crit on one of these guys. Let me see here. I want to, I do want to play with a little bit of caution, though. Let's see. Well, I can just have Yukari use this Megiddo Gem. Megiddo Gems are pretty nice finds because they are a just a pretty sizable 150 damage guaranteed. I really don't have anything else for anybody else in my party to do, so I'll just go for this. Let's see, Makarakaran, that's fine. I don't care about that. Not really going to be using any magical skills anyway. Let's see what Aegis gets here. She's going for the Swift Strikes, which is the smarter thing to go for, really. Spread that damage out. Nice, nice. Mabuffalo coming out. Let's see how much that does to us. It's a little dicey for the Femc, but, ooh, that might take out Yukari, actually. Yeah, Yukari is down. That's fine, though. That's fine. I'm not too pressed about that. I can just, bring her back in, once we're close to winning the fight, really. Let me see here. Smart thing to do, though, would, be have, Mitsuru use Buffalo on the Femc here. If I had any Protection Sutras, I'd also up those. Let's see, so this one's gonna go for Mabuffalo. Let me see. Okay, we dodged. We should be fine here. Aegis is gonna go for the kill there, which is not really what I would have done, but whatever. The AI is committed to doing things its own way. Would have been nice if Aegis got the dodge there and just caused that guy to fall flat on his ass, but you can't have everything. Alright, this is as good an opportunity as any to get Yukari back in the fight, so let's just use a... Do I have any Bombs of Life? It does not look like it, so I'll just use a Revival Bead and bank on her surviving. I probably should have given her her Legion Bow. Here comes Fatal End from Aegis. Let's see how much this does. 148. Not as much as I was expecting, honestly. That's marginally better than just using her normal attack, actually. Whatever, we win. Not exactly convincingly, but well enough, well enough. Alright, next up, of course, is the boss in Persona 3 Reload. So, as usual, we will start with our usual Sylphid Aura buff. Make sure everybody is going in as strong as possible. The enemy is strong. Please make sure you're ready before fighting. I'm as ready as I'll ever be, Fuka. Once again, just continuing my trend of saying that. Approaching enemy shadow. Eliminating target. So, for this battle, we've got the Venomous Magus and 5 Fingers of Blight. I honestly do not care what these things do, because I've got a particular strategy in mind for how I'm going to approach this. So, we're going to switch over to Black Frost, and instead of unloading with attacks, we are going to Matarukaja. And we are going to have Koromaru use his second Theurgy, Power Howling. And I'm actually going to have my guys hold back for a little bit here. Power Howling applies the charge status to everybody in the party. And they are buffing up themselves. That's okay, that's okay. Let's see here. Aegis has Dekunda. I'm just going to have Aegis guard here and wait for a little bit. Ditto for Junpei, because I want to get Marakunda in effect. Rakutaja on the Venomous Magus, that's okay. Poison Mist coming out from the Venomous Magus, that's okay, that's not a big deal. As you can see, let's see here. Do I have a multi-targeting poison cure here? Let's see, Nutritious, Hello. One ally, all for one ally, unfortunately. That is not a big deal. What we're going to do here is we're just going to have Junpei purge the poison from himself. Aegis was able to dodge that because she was guarding, and guarding makes you immune to status ailments. And let's see here, I will have Koromaru. He will just use a Baisudi gem on himself here. I love how he stands on his paws like that. Oh, that's adorable. And let's see, Mataru. Oh, come on. They're cutting under my stupid thing here. Whatever. That's not a big deal. We will just go ahead with what I was planning on doing. Orgia mode with power charge. Marakunda in effect. That's fine. That's so annoying. Of course, they run counter to the strategies I'm trying to use here. But look at that damage. And now Aegis is going to have a perpetual. What is it? Blah, 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 blah. A perpetual, oh god, my brain is just power charge in effect with her Orgia mode, and god, that did nothing. I feel almost sorry for them. Junpei is going to vacuum slash here, likely pick up a crit due to that flat. Oh boy, these guys are not looking too good here. Actually, you know what? Can't shift because he's poisoned. Instead, let's just get the Baisudi gem, and since the protagonist has power charge in effect, let's just take a quick look at what a cruel attack can do here. So we will switch over to Eligor and get the cruel attack in. Nice. And let's see here. I may as well take a look at these guys, see if I can't knock them down. They are indeed weak to dark skills, so let's just do this real quick. Alright, alright. You know what? For fun, let's do all-out attack and see if it kills. Yeah, that didn't go as well as I was hoping, because of course this was an enemy that was rich in buffs and debuffs to counter what I was doing. But whatever. Get a huge amount of experience, and yes, there we go. Eligor has gotten his level up. Now Eligor will have Life Aid. Let me think. What do I want to get rid of here? Assault Dive is useless on Eligor, so we'll just toss that out. Get Life Aid onto him. Very helpful skill to have. Shock Noise for Fuka here. This is an interesting one. Inflicts distress on all foes on the current floor. This can be useful for farming up Junpei's Theurgy if you want to, but I don't really care for this. That 30 SP cost is a little too much, so... Confirmed annihilation of enemy shadow. We are victorious. Koromaru-san performed excellently as well. Once we return, we are to give you a reward, correct? Arf, arf. What would be best suffice as a reward for Koromaru-san? Let's see. How about a delicious snack? Koromaru-san, you are drooling. Koromaru-san is exuberant. Perhaps he is one hungry boy, as they say. I knew he'd be down for that. Well then, let us be off. I will also perform to the best of my ability in order to secure Koromaru-san the best possible reward. Arf! And with that, we can of course collect our items, and then we'll be ready to finish up this expedition for the night. Sorry, I guess, they keep coming in. Daft Jacket. Let's take a look at that real quick. It's been a while since I've upgraded my armor, so let's see. The Daft Jacket nullifies fear. Might come in handy, and it's a huge defense boost over what I've had. Not that it really matters with all the buffs I've had in effect. And, of course, we'll open up this treasure chest. We've got more than enough Twilight fragments for it. We get a Carnage Knife for Koromaru. Ooh, there was a weapon inside. I think Korocharn would be able to use that one as well. Arf, arf! Carnage Knife looks pretty good. Let's give it to Koromaru. And let's just take a look at what that does for him. The Carnage Knife gives him Auto Tarukaja. Very nice. Koromaru, what he's really looking forward to is if we get some abilities that convey him dark damage boost, so hopefully he gets that soon. Anyways, let's wrap up this expedition for this particular video.
An attack first.
Another new enemy here, Minotaur 4. These guys look pretty intimidating, though they're often not too threatening. This one in particular is weak to fire skills, and with powerful casters like Sadi at our disposal, it's pretty easy for us to take him down. Koromaru can also deal pretty good damage to him. Speaking of, I want to get everybody on full assault until I've got everything around here scanned. So with his Aguilaus, we can quickly set him up for a couple of all-out attacks, and should be able to take him out in short order. Got 123 damage off that Aguila there. Sadi with Fire Boost is pretty good, so that's working out well for us. And Koromaru should get a follow-up here with his Agni Bracers boosted Aguila. Does even better damage, and he has a considerably worse magic stat than Sadi, so that is just the power of raw level advantage and having the corresponding elemental boost. Bit interesting that we didn't finish him off there, but whatever.
Defeated. It's weak.
Akihiko going for the overkill. Just thought I'd show that off. Critical animations, always nice to see. One thing to note about those guys is they can drop diamonds. Very useful gem, tradable for the insanely useful homunculi item. Definitely want to keep an eye out for those if you're going to fight the bonus boss of this game. We've got a twofer here. We've got Phantom Lords, and we've got Furious Gigases, already downgraded to a regular enemy, not even strong shadows. Anyways, the Furious Gigases are weak to wind, like they were in the boss fight with them. These Phantom Lords over here are weak to light skills. Let's see if I get lucky with this one. Did not, but that's okay. Gives me an opportunity to drag the battle out, hopefully get the scan there. As you can see, Koromaru is hitting them with fire, which they are immune to. I will actually want to switch off of, oh, those are weak to light skills as well. That's something handy to keep in mind. But I will want to switch off of, what is it? Power, because he is vulnerable to darkness skills. I want to look for something that's resistant to darkness if I have it. I think Titan is. Yeah, he's resistant. We definitely want to err on the side of caution with that Phantom Lord there. And let me see, what skills do I have? Xane, completely useless, so we'll just go for a physical strike on him. We should be fine. I believe I have, like, absolute worst case scenario. Heaven forbid. Okay, Evil Smile. That's annoying, but that's not a big deal. Well, okay, it shouldn't be a big deal, but there we go. There's Fear. In random battles, it has a chance to make your party members flee from battle. Very obnoxious, but what can you do? What can you do? Koromaru, ooh, I was gonna say he should be able to survive that, but a little scary, actually. Now I'm going to switch over to Narcissus, and we can just do a Magaru to finish this off, because it'll knock down the Gigas, and it'll do just enough damage to kill the Phantom Lord. There we go. That fight looked a little scary, but it wasn't as bad as it looked.
The enemy's gone. Great job, guys.
Oh, actually got something interesting there. I screwed up and picked a curse card. If you happen to do that, there is a rare chance that the game will throw you a mulligan and let you pick a random different card. So that was actually pretty nice there, because I definitely didn't want to have to run away from the Reaper if I could avoid it.
There are 4 enemies. Attack!
Over here, we've got some almighty hands, and these guys throw a bit of an interesting wrench into things for us. They are resistant to most things, or not most things. They drain ice and nullify light skills and are weak to dark. We don't really have good dark users at this point. I mean, obviously Koromaru can use dark skills, but that's not really too helpful to us at this stage. So instead, I'm just going to blast off with the strongest things I have available. Miragion from Eligor, even though I don't have Fire Boost on him in this version, and I'm not running the, what is it? The Agni Bracers at this point. It's still pretty good damage to open with, and then I can just switch over to Shisa to do a Gale Slash when our turn comes back around, and that'll protect me from the ice damage that they can do. They also have light skills, which not something we can particularly shield ourselves against too effectively at this point, but worst case scenario, again, I do have some homunculi in storage. And luckily, we got a bunch of dodges there. Hopefully, our team takes them out in the order that they're going to act in. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Not super clean. Maybe I should have just stuck with the Gale Slashes from Shisa to begin with, but here's to the could-have-beens. And another new enemy here, the Jotun of Power. And this is an enemy I would not recommend fighting at this point. It has no weakness, drains ice, and is strong against the light skills. It also has a pretty high 800 HP. I don't really have a well-crafted physical persona, so I'm not going to bother wasting my time on this. But it's not too difficult to beat if you have good physical skills at your disposal. Finally, something that has been taking me way too long to find is Shouting Tiaras. These are the quest enemy that we need to kill in order to get the tiara hairs that Elizabeth is looking for, and I have been having miserable luck finding these things. I'm all the way on floor 109. This is the first formation of them I'm encountering. They're very easy to beat, though. They're weak to ice and dark skills, so you have a pretty good selection of options at this point for taking them out. Just set them up with a Mabufu all-out attack, and you're in like Flynn there. Also, I should get some good experience out of this. Let's see what we get here. Hey, not bad. And 2 Tiara's hairs. That's 2/5 of the way there. Alright, yeah, back in Persona 3 FES, I've made it to the second boss floor for this moon cycle of Yabbashah. There's a really strong enemy near the middle. Be careful, okay? And that is something we'll be taking care of in the next Tartarus video, which will, like the last moon cycle, will be uploaded immediately after this one, so I don't know why I'm saying that like it's going to be something in the far future. So, I'm going to return to the base. Now, after, like, not getting any shouting tiaras, immediately after I got that demonstration encounter I had with them, I immediately got another 4 shouting tiaras who gave me all of the hairs that I needed to complete the tiara hair request. So I got that one settled away, and also I still need to beat some of the knights, the champion knights, in order to get the knight reins for Elizabeth. But we can turn in the tiara hairs here. You have claimed a part of your enemy's head, just as the samurai did long ago. Consider it a sign of your victory. Please accept your reward. Making us sound like a serial killer in the making there with that. We get a singular attack mirror. Not a bad reward, but not the best we've seen up to this point. Now, I'm actually going to take stock of things I can fuse in Persona 3 FES at this point, just to see if there's anything good. In particular, I don't really care about the amount of damage it can do. I'm looking for something I can fuse that doesn't require me to sacrifice something I care a lot about, but is also relatively high level. Incubus is not a bad option, but he does require me to... Well, actually... That might actually work out in my favor. I don't really care about anything else Sadi has, so you know what? I'm going to register Sadi, and I'm going to fuse that Incubus, because he gets Maragi on, and with Fire Boost... right out of the gates on that. Or rather, he gets Maragi on off the social link right out of the gate. And with Fire Boost on top of that, that makes him quite a potent crowd clearer, especially in contrast to Eligor, who does not have a very good magic stat in this version of the game. So what was that? Yeah, it was Orthrus here. I do need to fuse an Orthrus with Dodge Slash eventually. I don't believe he can learn healing skills, so this is probably about as good as it gets. So let me get this guy fused. Not something I'm capable of making right now, but note that if I were to fuse power into Eligor, we would get a Star Nandi. And if I had the Social Link rank 3 with Mamoru, this would instantly bring Nandi up to the level 41, which would get him the Cool Breeze skill, and that is a very, very useful skill. It restores your HP and SP by 8% at the conclusion of battles, so long as the persona you have equipped has it on, of course. He also learns Maharaku Kaja in his innate skill list, or rather he has it in his innate skill list, so Nandi is a very good pickup once you have the opportunity to grab him, and it's definitely something I want to keep in mind when planning something with my social links later. Let me see here, what is this? Omitsunu, learn, Magaru? Probably not. Just, shopping around with my stuff right now. Alright, I couldn't find anything interesting that I was capable of creating at this point besides Incubus, so that is where I'm going to call it a video for this Tartarus expedition. About an hour and 20 minutes into the recording at this point, so not too bad, but there is still some stuff I want to do. I, of course, want to get those Knight's Reigns, and I want to do as much leveling up as I can before the tiredness kicks in, and I'm forced to leave. And if I can make something stronger that allows me to trowel the lower floors of Yabbashah without fear of being attacked by enemies, I definitely would like to do that. If I can get to level 36, I can make the Persona Rajanaga, who would definitely be high enough level, and he comes with Mata Rukaja, so he'd be a pretty good pickup. That's what I'm going to be working on off-screen, though, so I don't want to bore you with the details of that. That's where we're going to call it a video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, though, goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.